In this video, we're going to focus on Tailwind CSS and specifically how to center a div in Tailwind CSS. So if you play a bit around with Tailwind, you will start to realize quickly that Tailwind CSS requires a solid foundation of CSS. And to show you this, I want to make first the item that we're going to center, a div we want to center. We're going to first make it in basic CSS, and after that we'll convert that to Tailwind. And you will see that basically every property that we use has a specific class. Alright, so I'm going to make here a div, and this div class will be a very straightforward one. I will call this the div box, where we want to center, and in here we will center a specific div. So we say here div class, and I'll call this an item. There's nothing in here basically, but I'll just say here center me. Alright, so in here we're going to make here the style sheet first, and I want to just give you a heads up. I downloaded the style sheet in here because it's quite heavy file every time to reload, but I will comment this out because I don't want to use this for now. I only want to have the pure CSS. Alright, so in here, what do we need to do? If you want to center a div, Flexbox is one of the best options here. So let's do Flexbox. So we say here display, and then we say here flex, display flex, because you don't have Flexbox, it's just basically, it's called a Flexbox, but it is display flex. So the moment we flex it, it will start to work more flexible. So now what we want to do here is we say here align items, then we say here center. So this would make the item more centered, horizontal, vertically. So you can see here nothing happens yet, but basically vertically it is now centered. If we say here height, and we do here height 100% of the screen height of the viewport, basically, you will see now it centers on a vertical level. So now what we need to do is a horizontal level as well. So basically here we say justify content center. If I do this now and save, it starts to push it here, but I don't know exactly what's the exact width that's currently being used. So let's open up this. I just put this in the right position. We cannot see exactly, but that's alright. What I want to do is just to make sure, we just say the width is 100% or basically of the screen. We cannot use 100% of course. Why? Because there is, oh wait, viewport, and it's the viewport width, and this one is the viewport height. The reason why is that there is no percentage comparison, because we didn't set up anywhere a fixed pixel amount of width. Alright, so but this is the best way to do it. So we do this now, and there we are. So this is now basically our item here. We could even give it a background color, say BG background color, green. Alright, there we are. So that's it. So you can see here basically we should maybe remove the certain paddings, and then you can see here what we call that CSS normalizing. We can do here. We say this margin 0. Do this. There we are. That's it. Alright. So basically this green could be maybe on the item, but that's alright for now. Alright. So we've got this here. I'm going to remove this now because this is, we need to normalize this, and let's see if I can comment out this. Alright, this works first quickly. And I'm going to comment out this as well. So now everything goes back to normal. Let's activate Tailwind and do exactly the same what we did here. But then we have here basically all the information we need to know. Alright, so we know that this, I'm going to remove the name here. Although I do recommend you to give it a class name so you can recognize what it is. Because if you don't have it, you will have all of these classes, but they mean nothing to you. If you want to communicate to someone, have you seen this div box or the card section or etc, etc. So using this will help you to navigate, or you give it an ID, one or the other. So now we have say here, alright, flex. And if you wonder how I know this, well, you can search here. If you can search here and we type in, for example, and I've been doing my homework already. I already searched. Let's say flex. I want to have the flex of Flexbox. Do it here. No, it doesn't have it, so it's pinpoint on flex. So if you go on flex, you can see here a few options. Flex initial, flex, where is it? There we are. We have the class of flex, and then you have the flex initial. It doesn't matter. What we need is basically the flex self. Why? It will force everything to be a Flexbox. Alright, so it works like a flex. So what I'm going to do here is I put in flex, And then the next thing I want to do here is align items. Alright, so what is the command here now in Tailwind? Well, very straightforward. Let's go back here. And I don't know what happened here. This is not what I want. Alright, say here, align items. Alright, so once we click on this, we can search here the correct version. And what I need is align item center. I click on this and I see here align item center is this one here. And just a quick heads up, I forgot to say that I'm using version 2.2.2. This is the latest as of now. Might be that when you see this, it might be outdated already. So we have this here, flex, alright, item center. If I save this now, let's see what happens basically. We have all of this, alright, it does something. What I want to do here is just to make it easier to spot, I'll give it a background color. Say here, BG green 400. If I save this now, there we are. Alright, so we can see here, we're not yet where we are. So what we want to do next is basically this one. We've got this, now we have the justified content. So probably it will be justified center. Let's see again. As you can see, you need to really learn these terms here. Justify content, alright, and then justify center. That's the one. Alright, we copy this as well. Put it in here. Next one. So basically here we need to have the screen height. I already did my research, but I will show it to you as well. It's we can say your height. And probably screen height, you can see it gives a suggestion. Alright, let's do that one. Screen height. And with screen height, as you can see, H screen. That's the full screen height. Alright, and you can probably guess what is the screen width. Instead of that, we say W screen for the width. If I save this now we are in the center. And there you are. This is basically how you put it in the center with a flexbox in Tailwind CSS.